This is Ken Smith, reminding you it happened today, May 5th. But the year was 1260. Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, becomes the ruler of the Mongol Empire. It was on this day, May 5th, 1494, the second voyage to the New World by Christopher Columbus, and he sights for the first time Jamaica. It was on this day, May 5th, 1816, the American Bible Society is organized in New York. It was on this day, May the 5th, 1862. We know it as Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. It's an anniversary of a battle fought in Pueblo, Mexico, a holiday celebrated today in Mexico and the United States in honor of the victory in 1862 over the French forces of Napoleon III. It was on this day, May 5th, 1865, that the first United States train robbery occurred. It was in North Bend, Ohio, by the James Younger Gang. It was on this day, May 5th, 1891, that Carnegie Hall opens in New York City. Tchaikovsky is the guest conductor. It was on this day, May 5th, 1893, the Panic of 1893 causes a stock market crash. The New York Stock Exchange crashes until 4 years later, 1897. It was on this day, May 5th, 1920, when President Woodrow Wilson makes the Communist Labor Party illegal in the United States. It was on this day, May 5th, 1922, construction of Yankee Stadium in the Bronx begins. It was on this day, May the 5th, 1941, that the first modern perfume, Chanel No. 5, is released by designer Coco Chanel. It was on this day, May 5th, 1945, that Mahatma Gandhi is freed from prison. But that was May the 5th in the past. This is May the 5th, 2020. And in the face of the virus, the confusion of opening and closings, early studies suggest that smokers who develop COVID-19, the disease caused by coronavirus, are 14 times more likely to need intensive treatment compared with non-smokers. Doctors in California are seizing this moment to highlight the connection between smoking and the severe form of the virus. And so a toll-free smokers hotline, 1-800-NO-BUTS, offers free counseling and nicotine patches. Contractors are returning to work across the country following the shutdown, a foreshadow of the slump and possible recovery. States that halted construction for the last month or so, Pennsylvania, Washington, New York, are now allowing contractors to return to job sites. Other states, California, Texas, Illinois, allowed construction throughout the period of the pandemic. But opportunities for future projects appear to be dwindling. In Los Angeles, After a decade of spectacular growth, the Disney Corporation has been devastated by the pandemic. Its 14 theme parks, with an annual attendance of 157 million and record-breaking profits in 2019, all 14 parks are now padlocked. Its 8 movie studios controlled some 40% of the domestic box office last year. Now those studios are sitting at a standstill. Today, Disney's new chief executive, Bob Chapek, and Robert Iger, Disney's executive chairman, will offer their first assessment of the damage. Disney is scheduled to report quarterly results after the stock market closes today. Carnival Cruise Line plans to phase in service on some of its ships in North America this summer, starting in August. The cruise line announced this plan to phase in service in the midst of the virus. They will begin by starting with 8 ships from ports Miami, Port Canaveral, and Galveston. Don Shula, the legendary NFL coach of the Miami Dolphins, who led the team to consecutive Super Bowl victories in the 70s and holds the record for the most victories as a head coach in the NFL, has died. He was 90 years old. He passed away peacefully at his home. This is all to remind us, in the midst of the anguish, confusion, ups and downs, another day, a reminder that behind all of these events, that this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is Ken Smith. It happened today, May 5th, 2020.